What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks Friday night. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's had a great week. Hope everyone had a great Easter last weekend. Sorry about last week. Before Easter, got sick, came down with COVID, put me down for a couple days, and had to do the reset and catch back up on some projects. But we are back at it this week. Finished up some really cool stuff. You've been following this channel and socials. We finished up the Planet of the Apes trike this week, and that just went to clear this afternoon. We got it cleared on AudioWorks, which is a partner I'm doing this bike with, and they do a ton of my bikes, and I do a ton of theirs, so we work together a lot. So that is cleared. We assembled, get some pictures of it next week. Let's see what we got here. Let's do a quick sound check. I think we're looking good on the numbers here, so that looks cool. And let's see what we got. Who we got in the house here? We got Brian Moore, what's happening? We got Todd and Raya, thank you. Mike Stanton, Mike Manning. Who else we got here? That's all I'm seeing, commenting. So, let's see. I'm good, I think sounds good. Yep, music, yeah, I got some new music, which is cool. Changed up a little bit. I gotta get a better intro. I really need, and I'm not great at video software as far as like designing intros and stuff. So if anyone is really good at doing intros, I need to get a good intro and a good outro. I'd love to do like my logo and the slideshow and some stuff like that. So if anyone's into that kind of stuff, let me know. Maybe we can do some work together. Reach out to me on socials and let me know. I just haven't had time to I know I could pull something together with some software, and I've done a couple things like with the Smoky intro, and it's fine. But I want something a little bit more customized to me, and so that's cooler. Yeah, definitely need that. So let's see. Everyone, I think sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Robert, what's happening? Let's see what we got here. Where are we at? We're on the Tiki. This is where we left off last week. Well, the week before last, but I was sick last week. The lovely gift of COVID. My daughter brought it home from college the weekend. She was down. I thought I was clear, and then Tuesday kind of felt crappy. Wednesday, it was bleh. And Thursday and Friday, it was pretty, got me good. And then my wife got it. So, yep. I don't know how to use this laptop. Grumpy RC, what's happening? Someone mentioned earlier do a Cameo class. So I don't use the Cameo software at all. I just use it for cutting if I'm using the Cameo. Let me switch cameras here. Hold on. Yeah, I don't use the design aspects of it. I suppose I could go through and do some basics on how to design and manipulate and how to relayer stuff. I could probably do that at some point. But I'm definitely going to do an Illustrator class and how to do vector work. I mean, I'm going to do it in Illustrator, but I'll try to do some other programs, because a lot of the stuff I do, the way I use Illustrator, you don't need Illustrator for it. Any vector software will do it. So I'll see if I can definitely work that in. I got to put that together this summer and do some online Zoom classes. And what I'm probably going to, how I'm handling those is we're going to do some paid Zoom classes for 8 to 10 or 12 members can come in live, and I'll have a predetermined set of a syllabus, and we'll go through that, and I'll do handouts and downloads that'll go with it. That's what's been taking so long. And I'll record it as I do it, and then I can make videos for download later for members and things like that. It'll stay paid members for a while until a certain point, then I'll release it. But I think that's going to be the plan for the vector stuff. I've done some basics on Illustrator design way back. If you look through the files, the videos. All right, so I'm trying to learn what are you trying to learn the laptop? You just trying to learn how to use the software, or your laptop in general? Cheers. And a little Buffalo Trace for tonight, which is going to be really hard to get because they had a massive flood a few weeks back. All right, so this is where we're at. Whoops, wrong button. Sorry. Here we go. So This is where we're at. From last week's, you'll notice there's more paint here on the racks, and these racks are doing great. These are available on the store now, and they're also available, not to sales pitch you all, but they're available in a long straight one as well, which holds 5, like that. The triangle one holds 6. And then I also have these in different millimeters coming out. I already have them for like the New Worlds and the 1-ounce Createx bottles and a bunch of other brands. And I have them for the like 28 millimeter, 35 millimeter. I have a whole series of these available right now. So those are on the store as well. So let me talk about the colors that I've added. Got our paint list up here. So I added some more colors from last week. The top row is what I mixed up last week and what I used on this. I think I didn't use the purple. If I did, I might have added it to the black a little bit last week, but I don't think I used it much. Hey, that's what's happening. And then obviously the reducer. And then the bottom is what I'm adding to this to finish this thing off. The orange, the apple green, the opaque lime green, that's an opaque color. That's the only one here that's a solid opaque. Everything else is like a transparent. So the regular Wickeds, so W3, W11, those are all the regular Wickeds, so they're semi-transparent. And then the WO, which means Wicked Opaque, the only one here that's an opaque is the this one here, which is the opaque lime green. Because I think I'm going to do green fire around him this time. And then I have the Berlin Frog Juice, which is in illustration colors, and I also did the fluorescent pink as a possibility because I might use that in the flowers. So that is the color list that's going to round out this project. Obviously, you can do your own colors. The other color I didn't put on here. Oh no, I did, and that's the W002. No, I'm sorry. So the W002 is a transparent black, but I'm also adding Wicked Opaque Black, which I forget the number on that off the top of my head. But I'm going to use that to background it. Because I actually mixed it with some purple too, so it's not straight black. But for the most part, this is what you're going to be, these are the colors you're going to be using. So if there's any questions of that, please let me know. While I got you here, I want to thank all our Down and Dirty Tricksters, all our paid members. Yeah, RC Flies, I don't worry about the likes too much during a lot. They don't show very active during the feed, but please everyone like, share, and subscribe. But the likes tend not to show up during the live feed as well. They kind of populate a little bit later. But thank you for reminding everyone. So I want to thank all the members here that have stuck with me. All you Gold Skulls have been over a year, and that list is growing. I think from Longbeard down to Rob and maybe Don. I'm not sure about... are all Red Skulls. I have to look. So you're all really, really helping out a lot, and I really, really appreciate it. Chris Garcia, what's happening? So thank you, everyone, for popping in. Remember, you get that 25% off all the downloads and stuff like that, which included this vector project, which on your screen you'll probably see in the bottom left corner, depending if you're on an iPhone or a computer. That is the vector project. And what I did tonight is I added a new file download. A few people already might have downloaded this. You got an update file tonight, which is, I did a few tweaks to this. So I made a full silhouette that doesn't have any details I'm going to use to cover it. You know, prior to that, I didn't make that in the initial download. It's easy to do, but I did it. So what I did is all the changes I made for this particular feed, the way I laid it out and the way I cut it, I uploaded another file in all file types that's set up with this version exactly the way I did it here. Whereas the other two is the same image. One is without the flowers and one is with the flowers. And then this is the live feed one. So you have it all here. So, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take this mask and I'm going to block it all out, and I'm going to do the background. And I'm going to talk a few different ways you can do that if you don't have a plotter or you don't want to plot that much vinyl. Because you can do it by hand pretty easy as well. It's a pretty simple design. So let's do these. Let's do the green. So what I'm going to do is the green here in the leaves, and I'm going to make these wraps green. And these will just be like a light brown, but they're going to be engulfed in fire. So I'm not going to do too much in here because they're just gonna, actually, you know what, I'm probably gonna do a little green here, because I want to do green fire anyway. So I can really do these after the fact, and maybe I will once I do the fire. So I'll figure it out as I go. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna pull, because I'm gonna double paint this basically. So I'm gonna pull just the bottom half of this here. And I do have the image here. So I have the image here. This is what we've been working on. So basically I'm pulling this here, I'm gonna pull this one here. And this little guy right inside. Okay, those are the ones I'm pulling. Because I want to do green, and then I'm going to pull the other ones to do green, so that way this side's darker. This will get two coats, this will get one coat, basically. That's how you'll get, that's nice about working with transparents or candies. You end up with those nice transitions because you can stack and layer colors. And this one I didn't actually have the center one, so let's just, that's not in the file, I forgot that. We're just going to go like this, and we'll just cut it by hand. And then there's another guy right here. Okay, see that there? All right. Alright, so what I'm going to do is the green I got transparent green here, I got frog juice here, and this is the opaque green which we're going to use for the fire along with the yellow and stuff. I'm going to use the yellows and the pinks in the flowers here. So I'm going to start, almost poured that. So I'm going to put this green in. And just real simple. We're going to keep this simple. I could even bring a stencil here like this. We'll just come in. This green is not very dark, so I think I'm actually, you know what? Let's see if the frog juice might be a little darker. There you go, it's a little darker. I want these to be bright. You could always bring a darker green in here if you want. So we're just going to layer. Actually, I might actually bring a darker green. Let me grab just a green. I can amend the paint list a little bit. Get the wheel moving. Moss green. I love this color. It's a great color. All right, here. So I'm going to add moss green and just tint my color with it. So this is the 5065 illustration moss green. And you'll see what that's going to do. And you could put a piece of mask here, but you can also just have a little shield like this. And just keep it clean. Oh, so Brian, laptop in general. What'd you end up getting? PC, Mac? Oh, just so you know, we do have a bid on this from Gary at $150, if anyone is interested in this painting. Okay, so now we got this darker green. So now you can hit it. I can come in and maybe a couple little freehand daggers. And I'll go darker up to the Adele. Okay, so you're on a PC. That can help you a little. I know PCs well, but I don't use them as much anymore, so I am out of touch with certain features. But the software doesn't matter. The software, PC to Mac, doesn't really change. The only time it changes, I hear it's because my wife uses PC for work all the time, is with like programs like Word and Excel, which are Microsoft programs, but everyone uses them standardly in business. So if you're in a business environment and you have a Mac, which a lot of people do, you'll try to use PCs, the PC software, and it just isn't as forgiving. Oops, oh there we go, I tore that out. There we go. Here, we'll pull this guy. There's just certain features that don't work as gracefully on those programs, but Photoshop and Cameo and all that stuff are going to work identical. All right, I still have the dark one in here, so I can do the same thing. I can do the dark, and then I can do a light color on top, and you'll see how that works. So if you only have one brush, you don't have to keep switching back and forth, because if you do transparencies, you can layer. You know what, let's do a little bit of leaf texture, like use a little Gerald Mendez texture effects. Just to give them a little extra life. Yeah, I could definitely do a crash course in the basics, and there's a video on how to set up your, that's for Cricut, not for Cameo. I don't think I did one for that, but yeah, forget it. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate that. It's a fun project. I've done it a few different times. It's versatile. You can have some fun with it. All right, so now I'm going back to that green, which for those just joining is the color. So right now I'm back to the 5012 Berlin Frog Juice is what I'm using here for the lighter. Now I'm just going to go over it, but so see how, whoops, change that. So see how by going over it, this gets darker, this stays the color. And you get a nice looking leaf. Very simple, clean. Easy peasy. Let them pen what's happening. So nice and simple. Yeah, let's do these in green. So we'll make these the same wrap. I like that way you get some green pop in here. And I'm thinking I might do some green glowing eyes too. So if you look at these crossovers, remember when I do things from top to bottom, I mean bottom to top when I'm on a light colored surface. So I'm going to be pulling this one and this one here because this wraps over. So I'm pulling these first. Same thing, this one's over, so I'm going to be pulling this first. Okay? And that's how you keep your sequencing right. Just like that. Alright, so we'll go back. I have two brushes going. So this is going to be that moss green. And I'm just going to hit the bottom like a coarse shadow here. Let me, I'll just zoom this one in. Doesn't like being there. How's that? Alright, so I'm going to stay on the lower side, and then I'm going to go against the mask, and that's going to create like a drop shadow. See that down there, a little core up here. I want to do it here, same thing. And then I'm going to pull these top ones. There we go. And now I can do the same thing, coarse shadow. Just really simple, nothing crazy here. And then that lighter green. We go over it a couple times. See, and you get a nice green out. It's a nice green wrap. And I might as well do these in the same method. Okay, I am recording. All right, so let's look at these straps. I mean, the wraps in here. Okay, so if you're looking at them, remember how I work from bottom to top. So we see what's underneath, and we get that first. So like this one here is underneath this one. Okay, this one is underneath that, and then it steps to this next one, next one, next one. And then this one here is the last. This wrap here is the last one to pull. And same thing here. I don't have it on the edge, but let me look here. You'll see it's got two more. It's got one here like this, another one like this. Okay, so this one is easier than this one. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're going to pull in that order. In that way, you'll have a nice overlap on everything. Okay. It is kind of paint by numberish, and it happens pretty quick. And I'll do them both for you. So I'm going to pull that one. I'm going to pull this one here because it's beneath this. I'm going to pull this one here because it's not touching that one. And I'll pull those. Super simple. I'm taking the moss green, or whatever color. You could do brown here if you want to make them like more of a brown, like straw wrap or cloth wrap. I'm going to make it green because I know I'm going to do green fire. So I can establish that one there. I can establish here. And if it says I'm doing green fire, if I'm getting overspray here, I don't really care. See, I can hit that. I can just hit here. And even a little green mist. You could put a little green mist over that. And we're going to be doing green fire, so I'm probably going to hit some there anyway. Alright, so now the next one, I can come up and pull this one here. Boop, and pull this one here. Super easy. And just go there, same thing. Next, boop. Next one there, and just keep doing the same thing. And if you're doing it by hand cut, you hand cut it and do the same pattern. So when you download this, it comes with all the different file formats to use on your Roland cutter, your Cameo, your Cricut. Comes with everything, whatever file works best, but also comes with a nice JPEG, PNG if you want to print and size it and just hand cut and hand transfer your own. You can do that too. Now I'm pulling the next on the line. And this one, I'm just going to do a couple little lines here. Let me switch up to this camera. Yeah. We'll just do a couple little lines since there's no extra cuts there. I could have made all the extra folds and ripples. But this is going to be encompassed in fire, so you don't need to go too nuts in here. That's good. Now, because I'm doing fire, I don't really have to do too much out here. But if you look at the original one I had some more leaves hanging off it. That original one was freehand on canvas. This is an adaptation from that one. I made it a little less complicated, but you could always draw in if you wanted to do extra leaves and just hand cut them, or you could add to your own file and change it and tweak it and use this as just a baseline from there. And then back to the light green. There we go. I think the top down is probably the nicest view for this. We'll hit that here. And look, I want to mix a little green right over that. And that's going to help when we do the fire. And then, I know I'm going to be doing fire. I'm not going to show you, that'll be confusing. But I can do... Are you doing realistic... Yeah, so I'm going to do realistic fire here. But I'm going to do it in green, like a green fire, not an orange, yellow, red. I did the orange, yellow, red on the reference image. So I did the natural fire, which you can also do. But I want to do a green. I think it'll be a funner pop. All right. So we're going to work these pretty simple. So we're going to get down to the flowers now. Okay. So that's all set. We're going to do the basically the hibiscus flowers, which I finally can bring those outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like fluorescent pink to spots, yellowish to white. Okay, I'm going to do that all. It's already white, so I don't have to add it. So what I'm going to do is it's going to start from the center and be more of like a fluorescent pink. And this will be like a yellowish pink as well. So I'm going to do these little stamen, right? I'm going to do the stamen first. Which I know it's hard to see over your brush strokes here, but it's right here. Just going to pull those out. There's a separation here if you want to do like a multi-tone. We're just going to keep it simple. Do you mind explaining the thought pattern behind green flames? What do you mean by the thought pattern? So the green flames, whenever you do like green flames and blue flames, they're really a simpler version of a realistic fire, whereas realistic fire goes from like a deepish red to an orange to a bright yellow, orangey yellow, then to a bright yellow, then to like a whitish yellow. That's the transition. You go through that spectrum. Okay, with green fire, blue fire, pink fire, you stay in that family. You know, so with green, your outer fire, the cooler part will be a darkest green. Okay. Maybe even a blue green, and then you go up to a brighter green, to a lime green, to a yellow center, to maybe a white hot center, and that's your transition of layering. Remember, it's all fire types still dark to light, dark greens to light green to white. If you're doing blue fire, dark bluish purples, all the way up to light blue, white blue to white. If you're doing pink, magenta purple, all the way up to white. It's the same dark to light pattern. It doesn't ever really deviate from that, because remember, each color sets up for the next one in line. So if you're doing green fire, it's dark green to start, and then that sets up for the next lighter green, and so that should be inside the dark. Remember, it all has to nest inside each other. We'll talk about that when I do it. You know, you look at a flame, the basic anatomy, your darkest color is out here, your next one steps in, your next one steps in, your yellow, your white. Your yellow and white should never be out here over the black. It should be with the yellow, lime green, green should be within the darker green. It's just like realistic fire, you'd have red to orange to yellow. The yellow should never be floating in the air by itself, black over black. It should have like an orangey glow around it. That's what the dark to light means. Now, when you're painting, you may have to put like a light green down and then a transparent darker green over to see it. You're still in the dark green phase. But we'll talk about that, and you'll see how it all works with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's do this. What I'm going to do here, you know what? I'm going to take my yellow first. And I'm going to just put yellow in here. You're probably not going to really see it well. But I'm going to put it in here because I don't want it to be over pure white. Okay, so I'm going to put the yellow in. Okay, that showed up. And then I'm leaving, see the remnant of the yellow in here. I'm going to go to the orange next. And I'm just going to come right up from the bottom, just hit the orange, and then here I'm doing the same thing, and I'm going to do, let me see, I wonder, I'm going to show you guys something. This is the new toy I got for my miniature work, but I'm going to test it out and see if I can use it here. This is what's called a HoverCam, which is basically a document camera, but it's a very high-res camera for doing close-up work. And I am going to see if I can get it to work in here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I got this camera, and I gotta flip it. Alright, so look at this little thing. Take the lights out. So now I'm going to be able to use it for my mini, so now look what I can do. I can come in here now, and I can get like right in close with this camera. Nice, huh? Nice little investment in the channel. So now, I have to get it out of my way a little bit. And I come up off the top a little bit more. There we go. How's that? Is that good? All right, so now I can come right in. And you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm not even spraying. I'm just spraying air before I pull the trigger. And I can practice over here. I'm moving, and then as I'm moving, I start pulling the trigger. Okay, like this. So now look, I can come in here And I can do these little guys, just like that. And I can kind of come up the side here like this. And I can even come right up the middle. And if you want to do a highlight, yeah, I scored this pretty good. These are usually like $400 or $500 for these cameras. This is an older model, and I got it used for like $80. But I can get super close. I mean, which is what I'm going to be using when I paint like figures like this. This is what it's going to be for doing like these guys. That's why I ended up getting it. Let's see if that'll zoom in. Yeah, so it's pretty clear, so it's going to be awesome. I bet it took years. Oh, to be able to do that? Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. It's practice, and I know everyone kind of loosely says that, but the reality is, it is. So let me do this other side over here. Same thing. I'm going to come up here. And remember, this is the orange. Here. Same thing. Same thing. Kyle, what's going on? And if I want, I can take the electric eraser and I can add little highlights instead of using white and go. Okay, boop. Actually, I should turn the autofocus actually off. That way it doesn't move every time I do it. So now I can just... Then go in here and just do a little of that. Just to give it a little texture. And now I'm going to do I'm going to add the pink. And now I'm going to take the fluorescent pink, and I can just hit that down to the bottom. And get a nice transition. I'm going to use these same colors in the flower as well. Let's see, now we get a nice shot like that. The cool thing I'm going to be able to eventually do, let's see, I can do that. I'm going to try something here in my studio here. If I unlock, I can change box 3 to camera 7. So now I can do triple view with a close-up cam. That's pretty cool. Right? How about them apples? Gotta love technology. Alright, let's do these flowers. Okay, so same routine. We're looking for what's underneath. This petal is underneath these two. This one is underneath that, which is underneath that. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing here. It's just, this is the same flower flipped. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one I'm going clockwise. This one I'm going counterclockwise. Okay? So look, I'm going to just do this. Pull that out. And I don't have the cut going all the way because I usually just roll it back. But you can just snap it. You'll see, it just snaps out like that. And there we go. I want to use a lot of the white. So what I'm going to do first... Actually, I got the pink in here. I might as well utilize it. I'm going to take... This is a bubble effects template. Oh no, this is one of Gerald's texture effects. I forgot what's happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a really small, tight piece of the pattern. And I'm going to stay inside here like this. See what I'm doing there? So you get that nice little pattern. I'm going to try not to get it on top. But if I get a little bit down low, it's fine. So look, it goes there. Now I can come across. Just like that. Now I can do the next one. You know, I'm just going to go. I think it'll be easier if I just do this. Yeah, that probably shows you better. This will be a little bit more out of focus, but let me see if I can get it a little up higher. Cool. Alright, so I got that. Same thing. Find a different part of the pattern so it's not mirrored left to right. And you can come in and you can add some little veins if you want, just freehand. You could add a little magenta, make it a little darker and richer in here if you wanted to the fluorescent. Maybe I will. But see, now I can go and I can hit that. See now, when I pull the next one, which on this one is going to be this side. And this one is going to be this one. Just make sure you get all the delineation. So now I do the next, same thing. My blind ass needs it. Oh, sorry, I already read that. You guys are quiet tonight. I know it's Friday. So same thing, I'm going to come in here, maybe put a couple big ones in the center. There we go. Yeah, I want this to really, really pop. Get that. There we go, that's a little better focused. And then this one, we're not there. Oh yeah, so this is a top leaf. So we're going counterclockwise on this side. So it's a nice flat, boop, comes around. Like I said, if I added magenta, you'd get a brighter transition. So I could add that, but it would take too much time to mix up, I think. But I can come back in freehand. You'll see. Oh, now, see, I didn't get all the way to the edge like I wanted to. That's what I mean about like keeping an eye, like get enough delineation when your mask is on there. But if you threw the mask out, you can just take a little stencil, like my pocket graphics here, and just hit it. So if you guys do in freehand, that's all you really need. Like you can just always come back in with a loose stencil like this and just hit that transition. Oh, it came out great. Let me cleared it today. I haven't made a video yet, but maybe I can show you. I can show you with this. Oops. So it looks great all cleared. that's the rear, and then there's the fenders. So yeah, the pinstripe. This camera's making it a little bit more blown out, blurry than it is, but you'll see, and then that's the other fender. Yeah, so it came out great. It was a fun project. Alright, now we're going to go here, same thing. Spots. Get enough delineation. More spots on this one. Let's change it up a little bit. So, like I said, you can spend as much time here as you want. You can make these flowers super real. You can spend some... Maybe I will get some magenta and I'll freehand some detail so you can see what I'm talking about. I really want that bright pop. Yes, that's right. 8 strong together. So you could totally leave the flowers just like this, white to pink, if you wanted to. Okay, but what I'm going to do rinse out the bowl. Rob, what's going on? Oh, so I think you guys are going to be seeing some random ads come through once in a while. That's kind of the new settings on YouTube. If you have YouTube Premium, you don't see ads. I'm not putting the ads in, it's just they kind of auto come in. I'm not sure how often they're coming in. I have it down the lowest setting. I can shut it off completely, but then the problem with that is it really messes with the way the feed gets shared, and I start losing a lot of the way the algorithm works. So I apologize, but I gotta kind of keep it on the lowest setting so the video kind of populates and other people see it. So I hope that's not a problem for anyone. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my yellow. Actually, I'm going to go to the golden yellow. And that was an airbrush you just heard hit the floor. And luckily the tip did not hit. Thank you. Alright, so now I'm going to do the golden yellow, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kiss right in here. And look at that transition you get. Super slight. Let's go back to that cut, and you can kind of see what that's doing. Look at that, nice. Now we're getting that really cool transition. Now this is where, if you want, you can take an eraser. Now we can add some white spots. You can even come down instead of kind of some highlights. Spend as much time or as little as you want here. That's why I like using transparent colors. I use opaques when I need them, but that's really only when I'm building structure over a super dark surface or I'm covering something up. But typically I like to use transparent paints and candies and stuff like that. Like that 8-bike was a black mixed with blue candy, 2 different blue candies, and a white. That whole Planet of the Apes trike. Yeah, I've done quite a few rose videos. I have the rose download with all the different rose vectors. And that's kind of one of the best ways to get good at it, and you start learning the layering process and where to pull and how to pull. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice and pretty. You know, so you see you get that nice pop. And then what I'm going to do, I got that fluorescent. I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to take a little illustration magenta here. Which is also transparent. Get a little reducer in there. This is gonna. So now I'm going to take the magenta. And now I can just take my pocket graphics. And now I can do a little bit of dark transition. Or I can freehand it. Like I can come in just a little freehand. We can add some extra dark spots. Dark in the center. We can put a little drop shadow. So see, now it's shadowed. That's basically casting a shadow. And just keep messing with it until you like it. Let's see, top down, let's go here. Yeah, so you get a really nice look. And I think I might even go with a darker, like almost a purple. Oh, I have purple. Watch this. I'm going to take, whoop, that's black. Don't want black. Now I'm going to take this purple here. I'm going to add it to my, just a touch to my magenta. So now I got this darker. So now I can use this darker color. Just hit a little bit in here. Just add some extra spots. You could do a whole video just making these two flowers look super real. But this is not the focal. The focal is the Tiki. This is just kind of side filler. But we can add some more later. But I think that kind of gets the point. Looks cool. Yeah. Alright, so. I can move him out of the way. I don't need this camera anymore. We're going to take him offline. But that camera is going to come in really handy in the future. Good, solid investment. Alright, so there's 2 ways to do this. You could try to line your mask up to cover this inside, but I don't really recommend it. You can do it section by section and kind of insert it, but I like to do it off, and I'll explain why. So I'm going to pull this outer tape, because remember, my board is bigger than my mask area, so I put that little gap. So I'm going to have a white, I'm going to have a frame around the whole thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this all off because I find it easier to line up this because I can see the delineation. Now you don't have to do black here. You can do whatever color. I'm going to do black or kind of a black texture because I want to pop. Notice how the flowers are almost gone? That's fine because the mask is going to keep it white. And if I wanted to do like a full sky background with other stuff, I can do all that after this. I don't have to just do black. I can do whatever. I could do like a Tiki pattern, which would have been really cool to like cut a Tiki pattern and just ghost it in the background first. Oh, I don't have it up here. Dennis Masters had a Tiki Master set that had some like Tiki stencils, and those would have been really freaking cool. But what I got here is this mask is green, okay? It's a clear green so I can see through it. Now, sometimes lining up a whole big mask can be tricky, so I'm going to show you a couple ways to do it. A lot of times you can freehand it, you can just pull, or what I've done other times is cut it in sections and layer it in sections by hand. I cut and layer in sections when I'm on a curved surface a lot. That way I can focus on pieces, and then any gaps I can just manage. Actually, I'm going to show you how I do it. I don't need to do it in this, but say I want to keep this lower separate so it's not as big of a mask. I gotta move this out of the way for a sec. Usually I wouldn't even mask, I wouldn't even like transfer tape it, but let's do this. I'm going to come right in here like this, and right across. I want to put this in two halves. Like I said, I do this on a bike a lot when I have to go on the surface. So now what I can do is I can pull this out. Now I have this. Now see, I can see through this. And I find, oops, and it's actually easier sometimes to do this without the transfer tape. So now I can focus on that. I got that lined up. I got that lined up. Bam, good. So I'm going to explain what I did here with this mask too. Because there's always something, whenever you try to lay something plotter cut, remember, it's cutting the exact size, so if you're not perfect, you're going to end up with overlaps. And this is why I did the extra download that I uploaded tonight for anyone who's already bought this. It has the live feed version, which has got this cut in it. This cut is actually like 0.0035 smaller than the image itself. That way it fits inside. You have a little wiggle room for registration. Okay? And if you look really close here, it's actually inside a little bit because I got this wrinkle. Because I didn't kind of do it right. But I can just kind of manipulate it and get it in there. And that little piece there that's picking through, which you really can't see there, that can just go black and it's going to look, it's going to be fine. Now the other thing you can do is you can cut your mask like this and have it transfer taped. And then what you do is I'm cutting a couple key reference points that I want to make sure line up. Okay. And then we'll do the standard, transfer method. You get a few key registration. I usually try to get 3 or 4 points if possible of registration, so I know I'm hitting the mark exactly. And I usually try to find like sharp points or edges and stuff like that. So I'm going to use the tips of these leaves down here. That'll register the bottom. And then I'll also do like right here. Or you could just paper cut and do this loose. You don't even have to do it like this. But if you want it like super tight and clean, this is probably the best way to do it. Not even going to lie, the green. Oh yeah, no, you could totally do like a green candy wash over this. But see, now what I can do is I can just take standard tape. That's why I love the FBS green mask, because if you wanted to do this by hand, you could just sheet over your design and just hand cut. This stuff cuts so easy. So now what I'm going to do is watch. Now I can make sure that leaf hits there. I can make sure that hits there. This is going to hit like that, right there. Oops, I moved it. So now I know you're good. Now I know you're good. And now I know you're good and you're good. Okay, so I have all those. So I'm going to go this way. Now I can just handle the left and right. Like I said, I do this a lot when I'm on a curved surface. So I can manage the stretch a little bit more. I'm trying to get one big piece to lay out. So see, now I can roll this back. I can even do this. You could like roll just one section and leave it. Or you can just do that. I'm going to roll it out like this. Mike Manning. Thank you, sir. So now I can lay this down. And because I got the clear, I can see through it. Look, I can manipulate that into place. I can check this, check that. Make sure it's good. Line this right up through. So like this is how I do a lot of motorcycles and cars as well, especially if I'm doing it double time. If I got to do like one on each side of the car, I'll mask like this. This technique is more. This is illustration technique. So if you're using Frisk film and things like that, this is how illustrators would do it back in the day. And that's how you keep all your work clean. Now you could also do the opposite approach. You could lay this solid mask in first, spray the background black, and then work inside. You can take multiple approaches to it. Do that right there. It was confusing because it doesn't look like there's anything on the green. That's awesome, Kimberly. That's why I do these feeds. I go over my 35 years of tricks and techniques and how to do stuff. And there's going to be a big announcement. There's going to be a big announcement next week. I got something big coming up that I can't share until it's released, but I'll be letting you know on that as well. Okay, so now see how there's this gap because of the stretch? So now what I do is I close that up here. I'm going to close that here like this. Now it's a super crisp, clean mask. If you don't have a plotter and didn't want to do it, you could just put transfer tape, clear transfer tape over it, and then just hand cut around everything like that. You could also cut your paper, which I print the paper. If you look really close, it's printed 1-to-1. So this is the same size. So I print it with making sure that I don't change the size. Hi, Willow. My dog Willow just popped in to say hi. So you can cut your paper and just keep a loose shield and spray the background as well if you want to be more freehand. Like I can just go in like this and go here and then just paint. It's faster in some respects, but you might get a little underspray or something like that. All right. So now we're going to do Willow, you can't be up here whining. I have to text my daughter. Can you come call Willow downstairs? She's walking around my live feed whining. Okay. I'm going to break out the clips bottom feed, the BCSs. I keep these on my bench with a black and white when I'm doing my figures. So these are always basically ready to go. Okay, and they're ready to go with thick paint. So I'm not just going to blast a background. I am going to kind of make I'm going to black it, but I'm going to make it really smoky. So I'm going to take a template like this. I'm going to hold it about an inch off the surface. And I'm just going to spray like this. Okay. This is where the fire is mainly going to be. And I should have wiped down my panel because there's some tape tracking. But I'm going to be spraying a bunch anyway. And then we'll take this, I'm going to take my opaque green, which we're going to be using for the fire, but I'm going to add my moss green into it. And we're going to I'm going to go black over this as well, but I just didn't want a straight black background. Basically, it's going to give it a glow. Like I said, if I thought about it ahead of time, I could have done like a nice, cool Tiki type background. I'm a little wet right here. And when you see that blotchy wet, don't keep adding paint. Keep blowing air on it till it dries. And move aside. You only need some swirl. We need some swirl. I know that looks really gross right now, and it's kind of supposed to. So I'm going to add some black to that moss green. we're just going to darken all this up and kind of smooth it out. Because now I can... So here, like I said, you can do any background you want, anything. I just didn't want it to be solid black. This is where I usually don't turn this on, but it's loud. I am going to turn the filtration booth on in here for just a second. Just help clear the room a little bit. So when you're doing this project for yourself, whatever background you want, make it fun. I'm just going to do a heavy shadow under him. I'm going to shadow these leaves. I'm going to shadow where the stem goes. Actually, we can go back and forth and kind of like ground. And let's give it like a horizon line. Have it go darker. It looks really crappy, doesn't it? This is where the customer comes in, like, what are you doing? Cool. Happy with that. I know it doesn't look like much. Cool. Alright. Alright, so we're good. This is drying out. Now, it's time. You know, the Tiki is the main focal, but we're going to do a little bit of green fire effects. And we're going to talk about that dark to light situation. Progress photos that customers don't. Yeah, no, exactly. I'll get the call like, how's things going? Good. Can I get a pic? Nope. No, you cannot. Sorry. Okay, so this is where we start talking about fire. We're going to keep fire really simple. It's not the focal. So, you need to establish a glow. And when I say dark to light, you're on a dark surface, so you got to start with a brighter green, but I'm going to darken it down a bit. So you're going to start with a glow first. So look, I'm going to glow right here. Because that's where the fire is coming from. Alright? And fire goes up, but it goes around the whole thing. So you got to keep it loose. This is the loose to tight part. And this is where I kind of plan how my fire is going to go. So I'm going to have it come out like this, and then dance in like that. This is just a loose sketch right now of how I want the fire to go. Okay, and then this one, we'll have it go and like cross over them and under. Okay, I'm keeping it really loose here. Loose. No stencil right now. Just loose, keep it glow. Not too much, keep the brush moving. Because this is going to be the furthest out of the fire. So you can afford to keep it loose. And let's just have a little bit of glow behind them. Like maybe there's just a glow emanating from behind them. Okay? It's not just from the fire. And then come up the center like that. But notice how loose I'm keeping it. Now this is the setup because I'm going to darken this, so everything I'm going to do from here on out is going to be within this fire, within these glow parameters. This is the foundation. This was the Mike LaValle loose to tight. I can even do some trigger pull kind of sparks and just kind of put them in, just to make it kind of cool. See those little, just they're like little embers floating. Notice no stencil here at all. Dark to light, loose to tight, exactly. If you're gonna use a stencil at all, maybe I come in and say, okay, I can sharpen that guy out a little bit, or I can sharpen this out a little bit. You know, I can hit here. But it's only after I've established, but I don't even do much. Okay. See how ugly this looks? Oof! Alright, so I'm going to take, where is my, this is the frog juice green. I think I'm going to need some more of that. So I'm going to take the frog juice green, I'm going to darken that out. And remember, for those just joining us, these are the colors we've been using. The only added color I did is I added a little magenta, I added magenta to it at one point. And if you want it darker, then you can add a little moss green to it as well. Remember, this is going to be like the darkest part of the fire. This is layer 1. A little too much moss. There we go. So now I'm going to do, it might be hard to see on camera, we're just going to hit that green and kind of glaze around all the edges. See how much darker this is? Because that's just the glow. It doesn't look good. It looks like crap. But that's fine. That's the underpaint. The underpainting. You could also take, at this point, because we're keeping it really simple, this is the green, which is the apple green. And just coat over the whole thing. So that's your dark layer. You could go Viridian, you could do a lot darker green, you could go as dark as you want here. You gotta switch up to the side by side so you can see. Again, it's gross. It's not pretty. But it's just the underlying. Now it gets rid of that black, okay? Hey Charlotte, what's going on? Where's that Joe? Or the two of you? Alright. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go lighter and tighter. Yeah, see, it's gonna look gross at this point, but you're building a structure. This is where beginners, guys who have been doing it for a long time, you know, like Brian and stuff, this is where like you guys get frustrated. This is where I see a lot of guys get really frustrated at this point. Because like, oh my god, it just doesn't look good, it looks like crap, and then they go in and they keep trying to repeat the process over and over again, and it gets kind of muddy and dirty. It just doesn't work. So now look, see how much brighter this is now? Now I can afford to go, okay, I have some structure. I can still keep loose. I like that. And see, I can come in like that and I can hit it. And I'm not copying. I'm staying in that same field. See, look, this is that kind of traditional fire hook here. See how it's going? There's the lick of the fire, the belly, but it's looser and simpler. Now this one's going to hook over the top, and it'll come back up like this. But again, this isn't the final. This is just level 2, so it's a little tighter, but it's still loose. But notice it's all still inside the green. We'll do it again over here. We'll go here. real simple, but not overdoing it. Again, really simple. I can do a little glow in here. I can even do the Jaro Mendez. We'll go down. I was going to try to go low pressure, but it won't let me do it out of this one. You know what? Let's do the old school trick. The popsicle stick. I'm going to bounce right off it. Just some spatter. It's just going to add a little extra to it. And if it doesn't, we'll just make it work. Okay, so now this is brighter. I'm going to mix up maybe not. Alright, I'm going to add a couple colors because I want the green to go a little darker, so I am going to do, for the end, I'll do a candy like emerald green, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this right in front of you. How to mix the great candy green. Alright, I'm going to roll this back a little bit. Okay. So I mix mine 1-to-1. So I'm using the 40-50. So whatever I put in here, which is about a quarter of a cup, I'm going to do the same amount with the candies. And I'm going to do a mix of emerald green and poison green together. I think emerald green can be a little dark on its own. So look. Squeeze that in, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the poison green. Because I think poison green on its own isn't quite strong enough. So I'm going to do almost equal parts of the candies. Because why not? And that's very important here. The 40-50 and the candies together. The candy is so thin it actually reduces the 40-50 without adding a reducer. Okay? Because you're doing 1-to-1. You want to mix it for a bit. If you stop short, sometimes you'll see some 40-50 kind of not fully mix in. You want to give it at least like 30 seconds. To even a minute if you can. To get a really nice mix. You can scrape the sides, make sure you get all the 40-50 mix. But now you get a nice, you'll see the drip. Let me see if I can. So when you do this, it'll drip right off the stick. That's how you know it's good. It'll stain the sides. And then what do I always do before I spray anything? I always strain. Just to make sure. These are both new. Couple little specks inside. Maybe I didn't mix everything enough, but if that went in, that's how you get spitting with your candies. Always strain. Now we're good. So now I'm going to show you the difference this makes. I could use Viridian green in here as well, but we're gonna. Oh, good. I can shut my. Now that's where we get it sound a lot better. How's it going, Todd? Welcome. Bravo Brushworks, welcome. No, you don't really need to. I haven't used bleed check since the 4050 came out. If I'm putting like if I want a pure white on top of the green, a lot of times I'll just 4050, let it dry, and then go on top of it. I've never really liked the bleed check sealer. I don't use it. And since the 4050 came out, I've never really needed it. And the bleed check is to really put the next color on top, if you want it like a pure white on top of like a candy green or red. But it's not the paint that's doing it, it's the reducer. So if you add a lot of hot reducer, it'll reactivate the candy and bleed it back through. But watch on how I'm going to use this candy. Very sparingly. I'm not just going to willy-nilly the whole thing. Wherever it's darkest, in the darkest sections, is I'm just going to hit it way out here. And you'll see what it's doing. It's going to enhance that glow ever so slightly. See the difference left and right? See how it made this look a lot whiter than that, even though it's the same yellow? Color's relative to what's next to it. So I'm just putting this dark candy green in the greenest of areas, in the outers. And I'm not flooding it, and that's how you avoid a lot of the candy bleed too. You don't have to put a ton on it. It's just an enhancement. And because there's no reducer, it's not going to bleed through as easy. Okay. Alright, at this point, I'm going to start getting ready for the final fire. But I need to see how it's going to react with the rest of it. Actually, I'll wait. I am going to do... I'm going to do the next pass, which would normally be the green. But I can add a little opaque yellow to it. And I'm going to get that worked in. Sorry that took a little bit. When I do the lives, I try to limit the colors for you guys so you don't need to have a million colors, but sometimes you need them. Alright, so I added some opaque yellow to that green to make it a little lighter. So I'm going to get a little tighter now. So now I got to stay within what I've already done. So now let's get a little tighter. Kind of come in. It looks really milky on screen. It's really yellow here. It's just how it's coming through. I think it might depend on what your TV. If you have a TV setting, set it on vivid color. So now I can get this a little tighter, a little tighter, a little tighter. And I kind of like that where it is. Coming over, brighten up this. And then I'm going to add white to this. And now this is going to be a little much tighter. We can even do a little spray, and then I'll candy over this. This will kind of be the final sparks. Kind of looks a little stark right now. But I need to, like, I can't be finished with it because I still need to get fire on top of everything. So I don't want to be finished yet. So this white is just kind of the like 3/4 point. Okay? I don't want to do anything too crazy at that point. So what I can do, before I take the mask, I'm going to take my yellow here, which this is transparent, not a candy. We're just going to yellow over that white a little bit. See how that changes it really nice. I don't want pure white really ever. Cool. Like that, you could sell it right there. But we're gonna put the finishing touches on this. Put this baby to bed. This is the fun part. And it could be the scary part if you didn't prep your panel well. You can get the dreaded paint delamination. But look, now we're gonna get the ooh, the ah. Look at that pop now. So I got a little off registration there. You can see that white peeking through and a little bit there. That's fine. We're gonna fix that with fire. And go here and go up. Boom. Now that looks damn cool. Now, this is where you got to clean up, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to reduce this a little bit more. Now we're going to do the finals. We still have a bid on this of $150 to carry. If Gary is still here? Yes, he's still here. Hey Gary, did the servo skull get to your house? I hate to ask you that live, but I didn't check the tracking number. Hoping it did, because I did 2-day priority. All right, so now we have this fiery yellow. We can go back to our green. Oh, cool. Okay, I was starting to sweat it because I hadn't heard from you. I'm going to just take my green. I'm going to kiss over that. That white edge is now gone. So this is my transparent Berlin green. This is where I'm going to do is I'm going to tint the side. So I could add white and make it bright. So watch, just a little bit of green tint. Really, see the difference between this side? Doesn't look like it's part of the scene. This side already now does. A little bit of teeth over here. Now it's just starting to tie in with a little bit of green glaze. Oop, need him. No, don't be sorry. I'm just happy. Okay. Now, this is where the tightest stage goes. Go to my pocket graphics. Now what to do, we'll hit a little bit of fire so we can do a little glow just off here. A little bit of glow. Not much. You don't need a lot here. Just getting a little bit of glow on stuff. Maybe a spark here, a spark there. Maybe just a nice little glow and a little bit coming off here. Go a little bit up here off the center. See what I mean? Just these little bits. This, when you're on this white stage, this is where it's really, we can do some sparks. How many times? Yeah, Gary's somewhere around there. 45, 48. And then, I don't know, do you want to do a little, should we do a little glow in the eyes, guys? Or leave them? Oh, look, I can even add a little white to the side and make that glow. Doesn't really need it. We'll hit that glow here, that glow there. Oh, nice. Rounding up to 200. Thank you, sir. This is a fun piece. I love this one. All right. So just a really simple look. I'm going to go white. A little bit of white. And then we'll have it, a little bit of smokiness come out of the eye like this. A little bit of smoke. Now I have that yellow, that green. So now I can take that green and wash over. This is just a green, this isn't a candy. So look, I can just do a little green in there. A little green in here. That just made it a lot better. Wash over again. It's just final washes at this point. It's a little bit of addition, a little bit of subtraction. A little addition, but not much. Yeah, so, but I got to get that green glow. Now I'll go back in with that same white. But what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more green. And I'll be really strategic here. Little white, couple white centers. Okay, just to really pop it. Then same thing, I'll do another little hit here. I could probably go to an opaque white here, but I don't really need it. We'll do some white specks. And it just looks cool. Then I'm going to go with that yellow. Couple drops of Berlin. Not using candy. I barely use any candy. I think I might just do a wash on the outside after. So now I'm making just like a lime yellow, transparent. Just take the pure white out of it. Yeah, I really love the way this came out. It's coming out really cool. It's a fun project to do. It's a very structured project as long as you follow. The only thing that's really loose and we have to practice on a lot is the fire stage. Everything else is masking, and so you can really just follow the steps and stay controlled and end up with a really cool tiki. Minimal to no freehand. I only did a little bit in here. So, I'm just going to take that green candy I mixed up. And all I'm going to do is kind of cap off the outer edges. Let it glow a little bit more. I can go over the sides just a little bit more. Get a glow. A little bit in the center. All the way out here. Just the outer. Then we just gotta sign it. Where is my green? Still have it? Ah. I'm gonna try something. see if I had my liquid mask. A liquid mask pen, but I don't have one. Don't have a good paint pen to do my signature. And they go. Oh, I do. So this is something different. This is a cool way to do little details. This is a liquid mask pen. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, you can get them all over the place. So I'm going to do something a little different for the signature. I'm going to sign it in liquid mask. Maybe. Nope. Yep, the liquid mask is erasing. So we're going to do that. Now we'll do a glow. All right, fix that right up so I don't like that. Not everything always goes according to plan. I think I'm going to add the signature when that dries because I don't want to mess this up. 12 things I like. Is that 250? I haven't seen you here before. So shipping within the US is $20. Outside has to be determined if you're in Canada or something like that, because Canada's getting like $40 to ship now. $12 things. Do you have me on social? If you don't, you can message me at these if you end up being the final winner. Instagram or Facebook is the best to get a hold of me. And then I can send you a PayPal. Just let me know what country you're in, if you're in the US or not. So we have a bit of 250. That stands as long as that follows through. All right, let's take a look at the final here. New Mexico, cool. Yeah, it's only $20 shipping then. Message me over on Facebook and Instagram with your email address and stuff, and I'll send you a PayPal, and this will go out in the next couple weeks. Gary is at $275. Thank you, Gary. All right, let's Let's peel this. Let's see what we look like all framed up. This is one of my favorite pieces I've done in the feed. I've always loved this project, and I've never kept one for myself. Every time I've done this at the original canvas one, this one here, sorry, not that one, not that one, god damn it. That one sits at Coast originally. That's where the original one sits. 12 Things is at 3. Yeah, the original one sits at Coast. And then I did one of these, similar color, with me and Rhino tag team it. I think that one got damaged. Then we did one, like a black and gray or something. Gary, 325. This one would look really friggin' cool. You can find them. So Dennis Mathewson did a like a bamboo Tiki series frame that you can get. 12 Things, 350. Gary. 375. So that would look really insane with one of his frames. You can still get them. All the framing companies get them at DM'd. If you look up, I think it's DM Designs, Dennis Matheson Frames. His Tiki one would be awesome. This is actually the best one I've done. No, I want to keep this one. 400 for me. Kidding. Yeah, this came out great. This came out really, really cool. I'm digging this one a lot. You know what? This is getting a gold. This is getting a gold signature. There we go. I think gold, not gold, but will be awesome. All things at 400. And should I candy over that? Nah, because it'll get green down here. Alright guys, I think this is it. Let's go do a top down. And we'll zoom out. Yeah, that looks great. I think the masking is good. So like I said, now you can go in if you wanted to. You could do some brush work. We could do some scratch work. Where is my Exacto? Yeah, here we go. 12 Things got it. All right, that is the final 12 Things. You are at 400. I got to clear this along with the lion piece. It's got to be final cleared and shipped out, so we'll get these done the next week or so. Very good game for the two of you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Like I said, if you want to go in, you can add like little scratches in here. And just make it perfect. Add little things like this. And you could work this for days from here on out. Yes, so Kimberly, if you look, the link's in the description where you can get the vector for this, so you can size it and cut it however you want. There's a couple different versions of it, and that is over on the store on MacKayFineArt.com. There's a link right here. Gary's in a good mood. So yeah, MacKayFineArt.com. You can get this and other stuff. There might be even a link on your page. So this is available, and if you're a Down and Dirty Trickster, if you're a member, right here. If you're one of the members here, you can join now. You get 25% off all digital content. And that $3 a month supports the channel dramatically. All the gold scholars here have been with me over a year. I might have to do a new category. So. And remember, guys, if anyone ever wants another version done after the fact, I can paint these on commission afterwards, with different specifications. So, just obviously it won't be the one from the feed. But I think this is the best Tiki version of this one I've done. I love the white edge of the flowers. Just looks awesome. And yeah, I think that's going to be a winner, guys. We're at 10:03. 2 feeds, 4 hours total. Complete illustration painting from start to finish, from masking nothing to done. I think we will call that a win. Go back here. That was the original. And that's all she wrote, guys. It is 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Thank you for all coming and checking this out. Hope you download it, play with the project or other projects. There's a lot on there. And don't forget, we got the new medicine cup racks. Those are available in the store, unbuilt or built. We have a couple different versions, and those are available. And yeah, we'll be back at some point next week. Well, not some point, Thursday night next week. We'll keep it back to the normal schedule, considering I don't get sick. And we'll be good to go. 12 things. Thank you for the bid. Congratulations on the win. I think this will be your first painting, unless you change your name. Message me on Instagram or Facebook. I'll keep an eye out for it, and I'll get that out to you soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Peace.